A presentation on production of iron and steel, nothing but the topic in which we are going to discuss the different steel and iron manufacturing process. So the subtopics we are going to discuss are LD converter, open hearth furnace, electric arc furnace, and induction furnace. So myself, M. Kiran Kumar, MTech, CL Mechanical Engineering, Government Polytechnic, Kataram. So the topics covered till now in this particular production of iron and steel chapter are extraction of metals, nothing but in the introduction we have studied about the different types of methods of extraction of metals like pyrometallurgy, hydrometallurgy, etc. Next we have focused on production of pig iron in blast furnace, nothing but production of pig iron in blast furnace. Next we have concentrated on Pudling furnace, cupola, Bessemer converter. So now let us move to the topics to be covered in this particular presentation. So LD converter, open hearth furnace, electric arc furnace, along with electric induction furnaces. So these are the four equipment we need to study as a part of this particular presentation. So let us start with the LD converter, first one. So LD converter is a closed bottom vessel. So before going for the other details, let us start with the abbreviation. LD stands for Linz and Donawitz. This is a place in Australia at which this particular process was first started. So the process was introduced in 1952 to 53 in Austrian towns of Linz and Donawitz. Austrian town known as Linz and Donawitz. This particular process has been started. So that's why this is known as LD process, Linz and Donawitz process. So in India, it has been first started in Rourkela steel plant in 1956 and the production was started in 1960. So the LD converter is a closed bottom vessel which is lined with basic refractory material. So let us see how it looks like. LD converter is a closed bottom vessel. Closed bottom vessel. It is lined with basic refractory material. Jet of oxygen is supplied to the converter through water-cooled lamps. Jet of oxygen is supplied to the converter through water-cooled lamps. So as we have discussed, LD stands for Linz and Donawitz. It's an Austrian town. In 1952 to 53, this particular process was invented or first started, and which was adopted in India at Rourkela steel plant in 1956, and production was started in 1960. So as we have discussed, let us see the LD converter. It's a closed cylindrical container, and this is an oxygen lens. So LD converter, which purifies the particular steel, so it is an oxygen lens. So the metal is being heated, and here the slag is deposited, and this is the molten metal obtained, and the gas and slag along with the metal emulsion we can see here. So this is the other diagram which shows the same process. This is the oxygen lens, and whatever the raw material which deposits the molten metal at the bottom along with the slag and other materials. So let us see here the process step by step. So first the iron ore is loaded into the LD converter, and after loading, then the loading of the molten iron ore and the molten iron, then it is burnt. After burning, oxygen ray or oxygen lands, then it is inverted, nothing but tilted, so as to pour the obtained steel. So this particular steel is poured onto the ladles and the slag is removed. So these are the step-by-step process of LD steel converter. Let us go in detail. So as we are discussing, the LD process is an oxygen method used for refining the iron, that is lowering the carbon content so that the iron is converted into the forgeable steel. So finally, the output product is steel. So the LD converter has a thick lining of special refractory brick. The refractory brick and the tap holes are worn and must be changed at regular intervals. So this is one of the precautionary measure. And so here the O2 is the O2. We are applying the O2, nothing but the oxygen lands is blown at high pressure onto the steel bath. The oxygen reacts with carbon and forms a gas consisting of carbon monoxide and carbon dioxide. Oxygen blowing continues until the ordered carbon content has been achieved. So 1.7% is the limit between brittle hot metal and forgeable steel. The tapping temperature is above 1600 degrees centigrade. So this is the other diagram of the LD converter. So this is our steel obtained. So let us have a detailed study. In the LD process, the container or the steel container is charged with steel scrap through the mouth when converter is in horizontal position. Molten pig iron is then poured and the converter is tilted upright, straight. Oxygen jet is introduced at a pressure of 10.5 bar through oxygen lamps. Addition of lime through chute. Impurities are oxidized by oxygen dissolved in metal and slag. Sulfur and phosphorus are oxidized from the very commencement of oxygen blow. Sulfur is effectively reduced. Endpoint is indicated by disappearance of carbon flow. Molten metal is tapped into a casting ladle. So here let us have a look of the process. So as we are discussing in the LD process, steel scrap is taken through the mouth whenever the converter is in horizontal position. After taking the charge, molten pig iron is also poured and then it is the container or the converter is made straight, upright. So oxygen jet of 10.5 bar pressure and is sent through the oxygen lance and lime is added through chute. Then impurities are oxidized, dissolved in metal and forming slag. Sulfur, phosphorus are oxidized with oxygen blow. Sulfur is reduced also. Endpoint is indicated by disappearance of carbon flow. And finally, we are getting the molten metal in the molten metal tapped through tap hole. So let us move to the LD steel characteristics. Low sulfur, low phosphorus, nitrogen and carbon content. LD steel has these characteristics. So LD steel also has high ductility property. It is used to make high carbon steels. It is suitable for making plates and sheets. So that was the LD converter which we have discussed. So LD converter which converts iron ore to steel, making it purified form. So now let us move to the second type of equipment in this particular presentation, which is open hearth process. And let us start with the operating principle. So open hearth furnace will operate on preheated fuel gas and along with air. So a preheated fuel gas is used for already heated fuel gas is used along with air. The fuel and air for combustion are preheated in the checker work for regenerators. Regeneration depends on passing the waste products of combustion as they leave the furnace through chamber containing checker bricks, which becomes heated by these waste gases. So whatever the waste products of combustion are available, so they heat the checker bricks. So after an interval flow of the gases is reversed so that the gas and air enter at opposite end of the furnace, whereby they are preheated before entering the furnace. So now let us have a look on the essential features of the furnace. First one is a valve system whereby the flow of gas, air and waste products of combustion can be reversed. A valve system should be having a reversible capability. Next is a generator system where the air and fuel can be preheated. So this open hearth furnace consists of a shallow hearth with back wall, doors in the front wall and a roof over the top. The opening at one end is to allow the passage of heated gas and air which burns. The essential features of the furnace are the other opening allows the burned gas to escape the chimney via the regenerator. Shallow hearth and walls of the furnace are lined with basic refractory materials. So these refractory material is magnesite bricks. So the roof do not contact the slag and hence made with silica irrespective of whatever the process is. The charging materials are placed on the hearth of the furnace through the charging door. The order of charging materials into the furnace is quite important. First, the limestone, which acts as flux, is entered, and the iron ore, which acts as oxidizer, is charged over the limestone. The limestone ore protect the hearth from damaging during the charging of scrap, which follows after iron ore. So finally, pig iron is charged. So here, this is the open head furnace. Gas and air are led to bath through one of the chambers. So checkers in other set of the chamber not to heat it. So this is the gas pipeline, and this is a open head furnace. Let us have same diagram here. Uh, Here in the previous diagram, let us see here. Initially, this was heated, and in the next diagram, to the chimney, and then when they first have to cool, the direction flow is reversed. So this is the reversion process. So let us see the sectional view of the open head furnace. So here, these are the three charging doors and a tap hole for the output material, and here this is a gas line, and this is a air inlet regenerator. So this is the flow of the air and gas. The charging of the materials into the furnace to the charging door. Charging can be done by charging door. The limestone is first entered or first charged, which acts as flux. Next, the iron ore, which acts as oxidizer, is charged after limestone. Finally, pig iron is charged. So heat comes from burning of fuel directly over the hearth. Heat is reflected from the refractory roof, thus creating the reverberatory action. So reverberatory action is created here, reflecting the heat in contact with the refractory roof. So it requires 2 hours of the charge to be practically reaching the molten state. The oxygen comes from the iron oxide or ore. Silicon and manganese are being oxidized by oxygen of ore. Carbon monoxide evolved by the oxidation of carbon, which causes violent agitation of the metal. Nothing but ore boil phenomenon occurred. So here, silicon and manganese are oxidized. Carbon monoxide is evolved by the oxidation of carbon. So next step is limestone is decomposed to lime and CO2 gas, phosphorus forming slag on a phosphate. Boiling of the bath is stopped at the moment when deoxidizers and alloying additions are introduced. After the holding time, the hole is opened, nothing but the tap hole is opened for molten metal to be taken into the ladles. Now let us have a look of the acid open hearth process. So the hearth of the furnace, depending upon the lining, inside a refractory material lining, the open hearth process becomes acid open hearth process because of acid refractory materials addition. Nothing but we are changing the refractory material to silica, which is a acid refractory material. Then the open hearth process becomes acid open hearth process. Charged with low content of sulfur and phosphorus of pig iron. Solid pig iron is charged first, followed by the scrap. Oxidation occurs during melting. Slag of manganese oxide and silica together with iron oxide are formed. When desired amount of carbon remains in bath, ferrosilicon may be added to the bath in order to arrest the oxidation of carbon. So now, basic open hearth steel. The basic open hearth steel process is generally used for production of steel for a wide variety of works at low cost. Uh, Commonly applicable products are girders, wires, ropes, and for general steel and structural purpose box. So with this, we have completed the open hearth process along with acid open hearth process and a basic open hearth process. Now let us have a look on the electric furnace commonly used for steel making. So let us start. Heat required for the furnace is obtained by electrical energy. As the title indicates, it works upon electric principle. This furnace is used to produce high quality steel and high grade alloy steel. So steel along with alloy steels also can be produced with high quality in this particular electric furnace. So coming to the electric furnace, it has inferior quality or scrap can be used. So higher temperature are independently possible. No fuel is used. Both oxidizing and reducing conditions can be achieved. High alloy steel can be made with little or no loss of alloying elements. So whatever the electric furnace we are discussing, now let us move on to the electric arc furnace. The heat is obtained from arc formed between two electrodes in direct arc furnace or between electrodes and bath direct arc furnace. So the arc generated is between two electrodes by electricity power. So it consists of steel shell lined with suitable refractory material. The hearth is lined with silica for acid process and magnesite for basic process. Means acid electric arc furnace is available along with the basic electric arc furnace is also available. Depending upon the refractory lining material, both are differing. So the walls are lined with magnesite silica bricks and the roof with Denos bricks. The graphite or carbon electrodes pass into the furnace through roof. During melting as well as charging, the control of electrode movement is automatic. So now let us move on to the types of arc furnace. The two methods of operating condition in arc furnaces. First is basic and the second is acid process. So the basic process is mostly used because it permits extensive elimination of impurities. Nothing but most of the impurities are eliminated. So acid arc furnace has a limited application. So here in this particular diagram, these are the electrodes, 3 electrodes. This is a power cable. So here oxygen inlet. So the final steel, which is tapped to this spout. So the door for removing slag, this is the iron ore. So this is the electric arc furnace. Here the arc is generated. You are able to see the electrodes, 3 electrodes, and here the arc is generated between the raw material and the electrodes whenever the electric power is passed through the particular electric furnace. So first is scrap is charged. Next it is melted. Third is tapping out, getting the final product. Electric arc furnace. So these are the electrodes. So as we have discussed, these 3 are electrodes along with cables, and this is the molten metal. Finally, this is the tap hole to the ladles. So basic electric arc process, which has much advantages. Main advantage is elimination of impurities up to a greater extent. Second is some iron ore and limestone or FET. Iron FeO or Fe2O3 oxidizes the impurities. Slag holding these impurities is removed and basic slag made by adding lime and coke dust and fluorspar. Slag holding these impurities, whatever the oxidized impurities, and the basic slag is made by adding lime, coke dust and fluorspar. So removal of sulfur for slag and further reduction of iron oxide is available. Next is molten steel is tapped first, then slag can be removed. So now let us move to the second type of electric furnace, which is electric induction furnace. So as the name indicates, induction, depending upon the induction principle, the electric induction furnace works. So it melts the high alloy steel scrap without loss of costly alloying elements. No wastage of any material for liquid making into molten state. So in the solid form only, the induction principle works. Charge contained in a crucible surrounded by water, cooled primary copper coils. Copper coils are available. So high frequency electrical current is passed through coil. A current is induced in metal charge. Current induced in metal charge causes the metal to melt, and eddy current ensures thorough mixing. So first, in a crucible, charge is taken, which is surrounded by water cooled copper coils. High frequency of electrical current is passed to the coil, which is induced to the metal charge, and the current induced in metal charge melts and eddy current ensures thorough mixing. Carburization can be prevented. So this is the induction furnace. This is a coil wounded, and this is the crucible lining. This is the metal or charge. This is the AC current source. So since this is sectional view, we are able to see the coils surrounded to the crucible in which the metal or charge is available by a AC source. The products of the electric arc furnace are special alloy steels, high grade carbon steels, special tool steels, high speed steel. Now let us move on to the products of electric induction furnace. High alloy tool steels, low carbon alloys, die steels, heat resistant steels. So till now we have discussed several equipments in making of steel. So let us have a summary of the topics covered till now. So initially we have started with the LD converter. As the name indicates, it is a Austrian town. So Linz and Donawitz, at a place, Linz and Donawitz. This particular process was first started in 1952 and 53. So later in India, Rourkela steel plant adopted this and produced steel in 1960. So this is the LD converter, in which oxygen is sent to the oxygen lands, which purifies the steel. producing the slag and steel. So this is an LD process. So we have discussed that initially for taking the charge, the converter will be made into horizontal position and then brought to the upright or straight position. After that, oxygen jet is forced with the pressure of 10.5 bar through oxygen lamps. Then lime is added through chute, and then the impurities are oxidized. Sulfur, phosphorus, and other are oxidized. Then finally, steel is available and tapped through the hole. So we have discussed characteristics of LD steel having high ductility, used for making high carbon steel, so for making plates and sheets, etc. So next we have moved on to the open hearth process, started with operating principle. So where preheated fuel gas is used for operating the open hearth process. Here a valve system and a generator system can be used. And in open hearth furnace also we have the charge along with the limestone. So commonly limestone acts as a flux, iron ore acts as oxidizer, and finally we are getting the steel. So these are the points we have discussed. So we have also focused on acid open hearth process and a basic open hearth process. The main difference between acid and basic open hearth processes is depending upon refractory material lining inside the furnace. These two are differentiated. So when a acid refractory material is lined inside the open hearth like silica, then it is known as acid open hearth process. Whenever we use magnesite, then magnesite as a lining material, then it becomes a basic electric arc furnace. So we have discussed about the advantages of electric furnace. So these are the points listed and explained. Later we have entered in detail to the electric furnace categorized as electric arc furnace and electric induction furnace. So as the name indicates, a arc is generated in between the electrodes and the charge. So in this way we have studied the electric arc furnace working principle. So acid process and basic process. So we have discussed many illustrations, diagrams, which explains clearly the electric arc furnace. So here we're able to see the 3 electrodes, and this is the arc generated here. So scrap is charged, melting phase, and tapping out the product or molten metal. So this is the electric arc furnace with electrodes. So coming to the basic arc process, we have discussed. Now we have entered into, after that we have entered into electric induction furnace, which melts high alloy steel scrap without loss of any alloying elements. So with induction principle, the electric induction furnace works. So here a crucible, onto a crucible, a coil is wounded, and inside the crucible the metal charge is taken, and AC power source is applied so that the metal or charge is converted into different forms of steels. So we have discussed products of electric arc furnace, like special alloy steels, high grade carbon steel, special tool steels, high speed steels, high alloy tool steels, low carbon alloys, die steels, high resistance steels. So these are the products of electric furnace, including electric arc and electric induction furnaces. So with this, we are completing this particular session. Thank you.